Alright, so Mama took care of 8 kids.
Yes.
When you guys were kids. Can you tell me what that was like?
Having 8 kids in the house, a lot of kids.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of sibling rivalry.
Mm-hmm. How was it for Mama?
Oh, for Mama, I'm sorry. She was, well, it's a 24/7 job. You wake up in the morning, you make lunches. You kids to school. My mother was the matriarch. She made the decisions, and what she said went.
I'm the third and the second. I'm the third in line in the second pregnancy. Mother had a set of twins the first pregnancy, so I'm the second, but I'm the third in line. Sure. There's 8 of us, so there's lots of us.
She was just winning them all. And she won a nice little dress, lounging dress that they had in the fashion show.
Okay, here for
This is my grandmother, Lucille Broussard. She just turned 80 in February of 2011. She was married to my grandpa, Fred Broussard, for 60 years and raised 8 kids. She is a mother, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother. Oh, it doesn't matter.
That's pretty.
You can borrow sometime.
Michael, that was nice. You can borrow it.
Curtis came by during lunch to visit. Mom enjoyed seeing him. Just so that everyone is aware, Mom talks to herself while she is sleeping, and she opens her eyes and hallucinates. Mom sleeps off and on all day. After everyone left last night and I was getting ready for bed, she was talking to a little girl, trying to get her to look at a cat on the other side of the room with her eyes open. When I spoke to Mom and looked in her eyes, she looked at me, then the corner of the room, and she said, "Where did the cat go? Where did the little girl go?" Of course, the doctor said this is her dementia.
For the past few years, she's had a heart attack, she's had a stroke, now she's in a nursing home. And after her heart surgery, you know, we would take turns spending the night with her. I prepared calendars for everybody.
So we'd go on the weekends and take care of her because her blood pressure would skyrocket. Well, you know, and Carolyn was there, so she'd take care of her during the week. So on the weekends we'd take turns between me and Aunt Charlene and Aunt Brenda and Aunt Linda. We would take turns going in.
Her mind was constantly going. Her mind wouldn't stop. She was laying in bed and she would grab at stuff.
Basically what she does is that she doesn't remember things. And that's what it is. Her brain, it gets to where it doesn't remember people, it doesn't remember things, and she gets unfamiliar with what the simple things, you know, what you're talking about.
And I asked her, she kept saying there's a little boy over there. And I asked her who the little boy was, and she said it was Roger. First she went, Curtis, no, Roger. And I was like, okay.
And we've had to deal with that, you know, and we've had to do it on our own. And it's almost like you have, you know, the person who used to make decisions and lead is no longer there.
One time she told me there was bugs on her. She was grabbing at the blanket. There's bugs on me, there's bugs on me. And I said, no, Mama. I said, there's not anything on you, that's your blanket.
Her being the matriarch of the family, what happens
when the matriarch of the family is no longer the matriarch of the family, which is what happens now. That's what happens. That's the situation now. Is we have a woman who used to be the matriarch of the family, who was the heart and soul of the family, and raised 8 kids, no longer is there. During that summer, was a period where she was not doing well, and she was we were having to cook and take care of her. And then after that summer, she got a little better. And so then she was able to take care of herself. She was a little better.
Yeah, okay.
But then the next June of 2005, she had the heart attack.
These are some really old school pictures.
This is back when she was, this is back when she was herself. She had to cook all our meals, and so we did not, and we couldn't afford to eat out. That was an expensive thing to do. So she cooked all the meals, laundry every day, many loads of laundry. She was doing laundry, many loads of laundry every day. Because Mom literally took one chicken and got 10 pieces out of it. She had to. She had 8 kids, 2 parents. She had to get 10 pieces out of this one chicken. And so everything was cut up. I had never seen a chicken. I had never seen a full half chicken, or I'd never seen. And it just freaked me out. I didn't know what to get. Because I'd never seen, I was asking for something that they didn't know what to provide. I'll never forget that. When we were fighting, she had to bust up the fights. She had to make sure we were fed, that we were clothed, and she also made our clothes.
Well, she was the main one because Daddy shift worked, and so when he was home, he was sleeping, so we couldn't disturb Daddy, so she did everything. She brought us to school, made us lunch, fed us supper. Yeah, she did everything.
Definitely the matriarch of our group. She was the she was the head of the household. She did all the chores. She took care of all the kids. She took us to school. My dad relied on her. He was the breadwinner, I guess, but she took care of everything else. She herself, is one of 9 children, so she was one of the younger ones, actually, and she's the only sibling left of all of her siblings.
This was the trip to Vegas?
This is the trip to Vegas in 2003.
Yeah, I was in that trip.
Yes. You remember that trip. Went to Caesar's Palace.
I wasn't 18, so I couldn't do all the fun stuff.
Yeah, I know. You couldn't gamble. Because this is the Venetian. Let's see if this is where... There he is. Oh, there you go. There's her laughing. This is... She had... I don't know if you remember this. We had so much fun.
Yeah, that guy.
The guy put the hat on her. And she laughed and laughed and laughed. And she was... Oh, she just was so animated. Now, Mother, you got to understand, she's a kind of a pessimistic person.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, she is. She's a glass half empty person. So she's not, she has a tendency to see so she was not one to, so to see her enjoying herself, that was a new.
I haven't seen Mama look that happy in a while.
She hasn't, not since then. She hasn't looked that happy. I mean, she was so happy then. That was such a fun trip for her. I was so glad we were able to take it.
My grandma now lives at Cypress Glen Nursing Home. My mother believes she will never leave there.
I brought my son.
Hi, Mama. I'm doing great.
We went to Emmaus this morning. Went to the church. Now, last night, oh, there she is. She'll give you a bath?
You ready to take one? I ate her this morning. She told me she didn't want to take one. That's why I just.
Really? What? And she just, do you want to take one?
This morning.
Yeah.
I'll take it. This is,
You want to take one now?
yeah.
Okay. Come on, baby. No problem. That's it.
That's a pull up for her.
Roger's been down since since Mother got put in the nursing home. He's been down one time, and he came down and visited with her. He bought the wheelchair. And we kind of helped contribute with that.
So he's contributed too.
He's contributed too. Yes, he did. He came and he talked to the administrator. He was the first one to talk to the administrator. He came down to really kind of assist my dad and stick beside my dad and talk to the people.
And Curtis is there almost every day. I mean,
So
the ones
actually,
that can are there, you
yeah.
Yeah.
When you go to the house now that I was raised in and grew up in, you walk in the house, you don't feel it as the home you used to be in because she's not there. She's no longer there. She's somewhere else.
With help, my grandfather built this house 40 years ago. It was built before my Aunt Carolyn was born.
This is where she lived. Before she left. Oh. Wow, they cleaned it all up. I never recognized this. I wonder what that is.
Well, it should have been like this when she was here.
And this one used to be full of junk. This is where she had all her stuff. Oh, her blood pressure machine, her blood sugar
And this
machines.
was all full of junk. They laid out her rosary.
Yes. Oh, let's see. Who made that for her? Love you, Grandma. Did you make that? Did you get that for her?
A long time ago.
She doesn't need the stuff that's in here. This is a little box.
Yeah.
It says I love you, Grandma on it.
That we got her
The
long
inside
time
is a bunch
ago.
of old jewelry that's broken and does not have faces.
No, it came out long ago.
Oh, yes. There you go.
Next to her mama when.
Yeah.
Just this year,
Special mom.
my grandma moved into a nursing home. My grandfather lives there at the house by himself now.
Because of Dad's shift works, we didn't see him sometimes, especially if he worked at night. He slept during the day, he woke up at 10 o'clock when we went to bed, and he went to work.
So Mama raised you all.
Basically, she did.
She raised 8 kids.
She raised 8 kids.
It surprised me that you were going to sell this house.
It'll be a while, yeah, but I'll see.
If you were going to sell it, like,
He's gonna never get out, you know.
yeah, but where would you live then if you sold this house?
Well, that's the thing I'll have to think over.
Okay, so he's about to sell the house, and what do you guys think about this?
When you go over there, it's not your house anymore. It's
That's
not
right.
the home you grew up in.
That's
It's
right.
just
That's right.
because she's not there,
She's not there.
and it's not their home. It's not.
That's right.
It's just a house.
That's right.
Even though he's there, it doesn't feel right. Because she was it. I mean, she's the one you went to see and visit. And so she's not there. It's kind of like it's just a house. So if he sells it, that's fine. I always thought growing up I would never want them to sell it or get rid of it because that was my home. That was what I grew up with. But as you get older, you develop your own home, and this is my home with my family. And yes, I had good memories there, bad memories there.
Right.
You know, but it's not the home that I grew up in anymore.
I think the fact that we're all working, we're married, we're happy, we're so healthy. Yeah, I guess all stemmed from her. She was she was the one for us there all the time.
My grandmother's condition only gets worse and worse. Even though my grandmother is no longer the matriarch, she has lived a successful life, and she has raised successful children who have gone on to lead successful lives. She will live on in all of us. Her children, her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren. Her accomplishments and her legacy will live on. The memory of her will never die.